All right, let's bring in Michael Tyler with the Biden-Harris campaign. Michael, if you could tell us a little bit what the thinking was here in terms of the campaign, or did this come direct from Joe Biden? And have you heard anything from the Trump campaign?
Yeah, well, good morning. Thank you for having me. I mean, listen, the president himself did not mince words, right? He said that he beat Donald Trump twice in 2020. Donald Trump hasn't debated since. The president is happy to debate. He's happy to do it twice. And he thinks that we should do this sooner rather than later so that the American people can see the stark choice that's in front of them in this election. We should do it in June after Donald Trump's criminal trial is likely to conclude and after the president returns from the G7 summit. And then we should have a second debate in September, well ahead of early voting begins. So again, that the American people can hear from.
So President Joe Biden says they should debate not once, but twice. June and what else he say? September? Yeah,
from both candidates before they go cast their ballots. That's what we should be doing in a 21st century presidential election. And the president's ready to do so. I think the question now becomes, will Donald Trump keep his word? Will he step up to the plate here? We haven't heard from him yet, but we'll be waiting all day.
Michael, good morning. Jonathan Lemire here. Talk to us about the thinking about cutting out the debate commission here and dealing just with the networks. Trump, as we know, has been highly critical of them in previous cycles, but had in recent weeks said that he might be open to working with them again. Walk us through how this is all going to happen.
Yeah, well, listen, it goes back to what I was just saying, right? In the 21st century presidential campaign, there are a couple things that matter. I think, number one, we have to make sure that the American people can actually see the candidates debate before they go cast their ballots. The commission's proposal did not allow for that. They were having debates well into October when early voting begins in September. But secondly, now we've seen in years past two issues, right? They've been treating these debates more like spectacles rather than the substantive conversations between the two candidates with a chance to become president in the way that they should be. And then lastly, we also saw in 2020 an inability of the commission to actually force the candidates to adhere to the rules, right? You had Donald Trump repeatedly breaking the rules. You had him skipping out on debates. So we want to make sure that we do this in 2024. We can do it in a manner where the rules are enforceable and that the American people have the opportunity to actually hear from the candidates before they cast their ballots. That's what we're putting forward here today. We're confident that should Donald Trump keep his word, that's what we'll be able to do.
Michael, you used the term spectacle, and the way this is outlined would not have a spectacle. If we are able...
This Al Sharpton, goodness gracious, bro. You on those Newports? You on those Marlboro non-filter? What in the world is going on here? Is that tie too tight? What the... Yeah, sound like Jabba the Hutt almost.
Able to get the debate, if Donald Trump will agree to this, assuming that he is not convicted before that and has to get permission from his parole officer to show up, would you...
Why you gotta take a shot? Get permission from his parole officer to show up. Why are you diminishing this man? He's a man just like you. Human.
Talk about how removing the audiences, removing all of the games that you play on the side, but one-on-one debate with a moderator would really give the issues and policies to the American people from each candidate.
Well, that's exactly right, Rev. Listen, the president said this morning that he has a couple questions he wants to ask Donald Trump, right? He wants to ask him about why he's proudly bragging about the role that he played in overturning Roe v. Wade and advancing these abortion bans across the country. He wants to ask him about the threat that he poses to our democracy. He wants to ask him about why he wants to return us to an economy that only benefits rich people like Donald Trump. And those are the substantive conversations that we will be able to have in a one-on-one format, free from all the spectacle, free from the distractions. It should be Joe Biden and Donald Trump talking.
Every single economy mostly benefits rich people. Every single economy. It's a matter of where it comes from, because the economy that we're in right now, which is in terrible shape, it's benefiting rich people, but it's coming pretty much straight from the government. They say the jobs report, unemployment is low, jobs report is up. And I think that's true. But when you say a whole 1/4, 25% of all jobs created are from the government, that is not healthy. That is not sustainable in a capitalist society, because as what they say, those things are probably true. It's still inflation is a factor. It's still the private sector of jobs. Businesses are just closing and going out of business at an alarming rate. I read today, you in trouble when Walmart start closing stores. Now, Walmart, the report that I read today, Walmart is closing 8 stores, all right, in 3 states. Yeah, 8 stores in 3 states. All right. Doesn't sound like a lot at all. But let's look at where these states, these stores are being closed. 5 of the 8 are in California. Walmart is going to do the politically correct thing and say these are underperforming stores. Because what other reason why would a store close? Can't fault Walmart for saying that. Walmart is a business at the end of the day. Respect, nothing but respect. But I do think policies in California have more to do with the stores closing than just underperforming, because if policies were in a different way, California will not be leading the way in this particular round of store closures. Any Walmart close, it should be alarming to you. It doesn't mean they have too many. Walmart is about as much of an ironclad business as you can get. And they're always current, they're adjusting things. We do this, we do that, boo, 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 to keep people employed and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, they're a business. And you look at one state with the policies that California have, like overall, it's not surprising to me that most of this round of store closures, again, which is only 8, but you do have to look at the amount of associates and people that are affected by even one Walmart closing. You really have to think about that. It sucks. It's sad. But it's more than just underperforming. It's policies which are calling these stores to underperform.
That out on the issues that the American people care about. And so that's what we're hoping to achieve with this proposal.
Hey, Michael, it's Heilman here. I want to ask you guys already made a lot of news today with this, but I'm going to ask you to maybe make a little bit more. There's going to be a big debate between the campaigns if Trump accepts this proposal over who the moderators are. There always is a lot of negotiation over that, even when the commission has run things. We'll put that aside for a second. Do you guys have a preferred, any thoughts about format? Are these, you're thinking about one should be town hall, one should be standing, or one-on-one, or should they both be the same? And the second is, what about substance? Are you thinking about domestic issues for one, foreign policy issues for the other, or some other ideas about how you want to divide up the topics over the course of these 2 debates that you're proposing?
Yeah, there's still some details that we have to work out. There's no doubt about that. But I think the top line here is that we want one-on-one debates between Joe Biden and Donald Trump on the issues free of distraction, right? And so that's what we are advocating for. Insofar as moderators, we want to make sure that the networks themselves are choosing from amongst their normal roster candidate of talent pool, so that there's no question over who's in control here. We want to make sure that we have a conversation that is structured.
No question with who's in control, which means they want to get everybody that they deem comfortable. Hold on. Yeah, and so that's what that means. Everybody involved in the debate, the governance of the debate, they want to have full control of this debate to make Donald Trump look as inept, old, and dumb as possible. That's exactly what they want to do. And the debate itself, let's go ahead and say it. If Donald Trump accept the parameters of this debate, he has to know, he knows better than any of us, that first of all, it's going to be weighed in their favor, period. But how much is it going to be weighed in their favor? Now, the other thing I see is Donald Trump is going to look at all these parameters. And if he says, no, I'm not going to debate Joe Biden, and then it's going to come out, he does not want to debate because he think he can't win. So these terms and conditions, I know they're going to be so ridiculous, and they're not really going to go into details, even though he has. He has went into details right here if you listen to what he's saying.
And on the issues that the American people care about. We want to talk about abortion. We want to talk about the economy. We want to talk about our fundamental rights and freedoms. We want to talk about the threat that Donald Trump poses to our democracy, and make sure that the American people can actually hear the full-throated arguments between the two candidates, because we are confident in the Joe Biden campaign that when they hear the candidates talk about the issues of freedom, issues of democracy.
One of the things they're going to have to worry about is when the medication for Joe Biden wears off. Because these debates can go 2 to 3 hours. I don't know how long that medication lasts that they give them. But these debates can be quite lengthy. And Joe Biden is inevitably, he's going to get mad. He's going to get pissed. You're going to have security up there. Because Joe Biden knows, and his handlers know, that this is going to, he debate Donald Trump, this is going to be his last stand. He's already behind on everything. They're already going to do every trick in the book to get this guy, Biden that is, reelected so they can continue to run the country. As George Stephanopoulos confirmed, there is a deep state, but he just, he made it seem soft that these are patriots. And George Stephanopoulos said, and they're mostly younger people. When they say younger, which means progressive, extremely progressive, which would, if we look at Joe Biden's presidency, we can say that these people are extreme at this point.
Who is fighting for you on the economy? They're going to side with Joe Biden. Not quite sure Donald Trump and his team feel the exact same way. I guess we'll have to wait and see what they actually say.
All right. Communications Director for the Biden-Harris campaign, Michael Tyler. Thank you so much.